Hey everybody. Well, it's a sad day here at Baldwin. And no, not because we had 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts last night with a major storm and there's no power. It actually worked out really good because we're closed today, so operations are not affected. No, it's a sad day because I'm selling my 206 over there. And that's a bummer because I've had this plane almost 30 years. And I love this plane. I love a 206. The 206 is a fantastic airplane, one of the best airplanes ever made. And it's, reasonably fast. It hauls a ton. And I've had this plane flying jumpers and flying all over the place for a really long time. But the sad fact is I just don't need it anymore. We use the Grand Caravan, the super van over there for 99% of our skydiving operations, and I also have my 182, which is a jump plane that I use whenever we don't have enough to fill the caravan, or I want to just go putz around a little bit. And if I want to go someplace faster and carry more stuff, that's why I bought the Queen Air. That literally is the whole reason behind the Queen Air. So I don't need the 206 anymore. Now, I've been hanging on to it for a long time, even after I stopped using it. I haven't actually flown the plane in about 7 years. It's been out of annual, sitting here in the hangar, just kind of rotting away because, as everybody knows, the worst thing in the world to do to a plane is not fly it. Stuff dries out, fuel cells dry out, hoses, belts, everything. It's just really bad for a plane. And it's really been eating at me to see that plane sitting there, just rotting, essentially. So the mechanic that Spaceline hires, that's who we leased the super van from, came up here to work on the super van. He said, hey, nice 206. And I just casually mentioned, it's for sale. And he knew a guy in Florida that has a number of 182s that he uses for skydiving. And he said, hey, let me call the owner, see if he's interested. And he was. So we struck a deal, and I'm selling it. Now, you might probably wonder, why did I wait 7 years? Well, I had big plans for it. I was maybe going to throw a turbine on it. A turbine 206 is actually a really good jump plane. I've flown a number of them. I ferried a few across to Switzerland, and they're just a rocket ship. But the conversion is really expensive, and I decided not to do that. If I'm going to drop a big chunk of money on something, it's going to be a new super van for myself, which is also what I can use the money I'm going to get for the 206 as a down payment on a super van if I decide to go that way. And the other options I thought, is like, the 206 makes a great plane for going traveling and doing backcountry stuff. I actually flew this 206 up to Alaska 15, 17 years ago, quite a while ago, with my dad and my son Connor. It was an amazing trip. I loved it. We flew all the way up to the base of the Brooks Range, and what a cool trip. We dropped it off in a small Alaskan fishing village, and then had a beaver on floats come pick us up. This was on the drawing a blank on the name of the river right now, the Kobuk. And actually dropped off the city of Kobuk, and this beaver on floats picked us up, took us 100 miles upstream, and we spent a week floating down in a raft back to the airplane, which was an amazing trip. I really want to do that again, and caught a ton of fish, had a really good time. But coming back with that plane, I realized two things. There are a few things. Number one, I need to go back to Alaska a lot more. Flying in Alaska is amazing. But Alaska is huge and rugged, and almost everything you're flying over would be a really bad place to lose an engine and try to do a forced landing. I mean, if you see the fatality reports of Alaska, a lot of people get killed in Alaska, especially in single-engine planes when they lose power or get into bad weather, which is pretty much all the time. So I figured if I want to fly to Alaska a lot more, I'd like a plane that has, number one, has two engines, so I've got a little bit of safety there. Has a lot more room, because just with the three of us and all our fishing gear and our camping gear and everything, plane was a little tight. And third, I wanted to go faster because, the 206 is not exactly a rocket ship, so it takes a long time to get to Alaska from Wisconsin. And that's where the Queen Air came in. You know, that's literally why I bought it, to go to Alaska. And you probably ask, oh, so how many times have you gone to Alaska with your Queen Air? Yeah, that's 0 so far. But I'm gonna, I swear to God, and I'll take you guys along. But anyway, today's the day that they're getting rid of the, or that I'm getting rid of the 206. So you're probably wondering what it took the guys to get the plane ready to go. Well, number one is get it started and do a compression check. We put a new battery in it, put some gas in it, and it fired right up. I was really happy with that. It ran smooth as silk, which was kind of shocking after sitting for so long. Had a little trouble with the boost pump, but just flipped the switch back and forth a few times, and that worked out well. I did compression checks, and everything worked out fine. It's got a top overall on it. The cylinders only have about 500 hours on it. And that was pretty much it. All it needed was a battery, which kind of made me sad because I priced it for needing a new engine for sitting for so long, but oh well, we both got a good deal on it, I guess. So they're gonna go get some, the mechanic and the pilot are here, they're gonna get some fuel, put in the fuel tanks and see how bad the fuel bladders leak. Maybe not at all. They might change one of the fuel lines. It looks like they have to take out the alternator to do that. But yeah, all in all, she's in pretty good shape, nothing wrong with it. All the 80s are complied. You know, I'm not sure. I think he's going to get a ferry permit and fly it back to Florida. That's where it's going. They wanted me to fly it, but I'm a little too busy this time of year. This is peak skydiving season. I really can't spend, 3 or 4 days flying a 206 back to Florida. And even if I had the time, they probably couldn't afford me because I charge a lot to do something like that these days in the middle of skydiving season. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to stick around to watch it take off. First of all, it's going to take them the rest of the day to get it done, and it's my day off. I got stuff to do. And there's going to be a little tear in my eye when that thing takes off and leaves Baldwin. But she's been a really good plane. Good old Juliet. 07 Juliet's the tail number, and I've got Romeo. My 182, so I'm no longer going to have Romeo and Juliet as my my 2 Cessnas. I sold my other 182s a couple years ago, sold my other 206 a couple years ago as well, and end of an era. I've had that plane for, like I say, 29 plus years, almost 30, so I'm really sad, but it needs to be used. Plane doesn't do any good sitting in the hangar, just rotting away. So goodbye, Juliet. I'm really going to miss you. All right, I've got a little bit of an update here. So the original plan of the mechanics and the pilot was to fly the plane out of Baldwin, come here to Menominee, my other home airport, fuel it up, see how the fuel tanks work, see if they're leaking really bad, if they need to do any more work. Then he was going to fly it back into Baldwin, work on it some more. Basically, that's where their hotel is, and then fly it back to Florida in the morning. And I didn't really like that idea because landing the 206 in Baldwin is tricky. Because like I've mentioned before, it's a 2,500 foot grass strip with obstacles on both ends. And the 206 with just one person in the front seat is way at the forward edge of the CG. So that means you can't use any flaps on landing or maybe 10 degrees. And that means you got to come in a little fast. And landing in Baldwin in the 206 with no flaps is no joke. I've had a lot of pilots really struggle over the years. I mean, I've been in and out of there. thousands of times, literally. And every once in a while in the 206, I would come in just a hair fast and think, oh, this is going to be a little tight getting her stopped before the ditches on either ends or the big obstacles. So I suggested that once he gets it here to Menominee, he should probably leave it here. If they need to do any more work, they can use my hangar here. But if it doesn't need any more work, he can leave out of here tomorrow. You know, we've got 2 runways, cross runways, everything into the wind. One's 5,000 feet long, one's 3,000 feet long. Basically, piece of cake. So he just landed. You know, I missed the takeoff. The first time the plane's left Baldwin in 7 years. But she fired right up, ran great. He made it the whole, it's 18 miles or so here. So that's good. That's a good start. Also, I really didn't want to deal with the hassle of him possibly crashing at Baldwin, you know, coming in and landing. I don't know if it's insured yet. I've got my money, so not really my problem about that end of things. But if he piles it in at my airport, it would probably be a real hassle. So I'm really glad that they took my advice. He's going to leave it here for the night, you know, fuel it up. You won't even have to do a hot start. The 206s with the IO720 or IO520s are notorious for hard to start when they're hot. So it's going to be better all the way around. And plus I get to see my baby one more time. Yeah, it's really sad. I'm kind of bummed that I'm selling it. You know, I'm second guessing as always. Every time you sell an airplane, you're always like, well, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, I kind of am. I don't use it, haven't used it for a long time. There's no reason to keep it. If I ever need another 206, I can pay 4 times the price and get another one. Yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to hang on to it. You know, it was paid off for me, but anyway, he made it. Nobody crashed so far, and it's going to fuel it up and take off out of here tomorrow. As if the guy will get the hell out of the way. Dude. Of course, being a slight problem, we got a student pilot there. He's 10 minutes of pre-flights before he'll taxi away from the pumps. Oh, she sounds so pretty. Sounds pretty. It doesn't look pretty. She's running good. Heck, tail beacon's even working. Shocked, I am shocked. I'm also going to miss that big plexiglass door. I love that door. My dog used to sit, actually both my black labs used to sit there and stare out the door while they were flying, so going to miss that too. You're not supposed to use that door. It's a jump plane. You're always supposed to climb out of the jump door.
I jumped out of that one.
How'd she run?
Yeah, just like a 150.
Just like a 150, yeah. Yeah, I think...
that runway just gets shorter and shorter the whole time you're on.
Yeah, it's like going, you know, landing back in there with the 206 may not be the best idea in the world. So, no, I think we made the right call to bring it here and take it out. So, cool, ran good, mag checks were good, everything.
Everything's good. Got a horrible motion.
In,
you know, when the nose starts down, it just shifts off.
Oh. Yeah.
I'll put a new tire on there. Maybe that'll take care of it.
That might help. Cool. That's why you got one. All right. Well, success. Awesome. All right, well, he made it here.
Yeah, I mean,
Gonna fuel it up.
it flies like a rock. Yeah, it just sits there.
It's a stable plane.
Yeah.
With that stall kit and those wingtips, he's just rock solid. Love that plane.
Put it on 25 square and flew it to see what the indicator would be, and at 3,000 feet it was yeah, about 155.
Yeah, she's not too bad. Yeah, she tools right along. It's a good plane.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. I'm gonna give you your money back. I'm keeping it.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh well. What's done is done.
It's there
We'll
now.
get it out of here tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you then.